Okay, what's up guys? It's your boy Myers Prods, and today we're gonna live stream the NFL draft. But since it's only
I
6:50,
train more NFL quarterbacks than anybody in the world. But this is bigger than football.
Let's go. Sports is very much a business. So what we have is a large.
We'll put them in, and then you'll have 3 seconds to solve, and Vanna clears. We
okay,
have a
I'm
long
gonna
way
have to
to
look on.
Joseph?
R.
There's one R. Henry.
G.
One of those. Nicole.
H.
I lived in Italy. That was when I started building my passion for football.
It's a hard football journey. Being a zero-star recruit really taught me to put my head down and just keep working.
Playing for Dad, not only is he the coach, we represent him on the field. Draft night will be legendary.
Okay, so we are less than 10 minutes until this thing really gets started. The commissioner comes out on stage. It's quite the way he's coming out on stage. Just a little tease for you. There's a little bit of flair, a little bit of presentation, and a wink and a nod to the local fans here in Green Bay. It's the first draft ever in Green Bay. There was a draft, the last draft in Wisconsin was the 1939-40 draft that happened in December of 39 in Milwaukee. So this has been a long time coming. The quarterbacks, obviously Cam Ward sitting atop the quarterback board after that. It is Shedeur. He is number 2.
Yeah, he's number 2 for me. There's a little separation there, and I think we'll most likely see a little separation in terms of where they come off the board. But with Shedeur Sanders, he's been, I think, the most talked about prospect with the spotlight on him going back to Johnny Manziel. I mean, everybody has an opinion, and it comes very strongly one way or the other. I think there's a couple things you can't argue about. Number one is the toughness, which we've referenced earlier tonight. This guy took a beating over the last couple years at Colorado and showed his toughness to hang in there and keep getting up and keep fighting. That's number one. Number two, the accuracy. When he has time to get his feet in the ground, he is pinpoint accurate, really at all 3 levels. Those are the pluses. The concerns are, okay, he doesn't have a huge arm. He's not an elite athlete. And he holds the ball, drifts, and takes sacks. He's going to have to speed up his clock. That, to me, is the most important thing that will determine whether he's going to be successful or not at the next level. He's got to play faster.
And as you can see, there's the card that's back there. All cards for the commissioner are alphabetically listed by the prospects. The only thing that gets filled in is not the name of the player, but the pick and the number pick and the team as well. As Shedeur Sanders, we're just going to figure out, is it 21 in the Steelers? Could it be 3 in the Giants? We have no idea, but your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders is what?
Well, it's interesting to me. DJ talked about all those attributes, and the accuracy part sometimes gets overlooked. That's an FBS record accuracy at almost 72%, if I remember correctly, Joel Klatt.
No, that's
you got to see him play during that time. But I remember when I did my first mock, I put him to Tennessee at 1 because of his style of play. He plays from the neck up. He plays from the pocket. These are all the things that Brian Callahan as a head coach, these are types of players he coached along the way, the Peyton Mannings, the Joe Burrows. Yeah, they can get out occasionally, not Peyton, but much more Joe. But Shedeur Sanders is going to play from the pocket and win from the pocket that way. So I thought it was an interesting mix. That's a little bit different now with Cam Ward and his ability to play. But let's face it, guys, polarizing, yes. But when you watch him play, you take away everything else, Joel Klatt. You see a darn good quarterback, and it'd be interesting to see who gets him and what they're going to have to do with him early.
Yeah, and he won't shy away from the spotlight, and you can take that one of two ways. You can take that as a negative, you can take it as a positive. Shedeur represents everything that I dislike about the NFL draft, and it's only one thing, and it's narratives, and it's narratives built up that are lazy and, quite frankly, trash. When you come out as an anonymous source about some meeting that you had and you don't think that some kid measured up to what you wanted him to be when he walked in your room, I think that that's trash. Shedeur Sanders is going to be a good quarterback in the National Football League, and I think that he's going to go and make some head coach and some fan base very happy because he's already done that in his career, and what I think is a very difficult spotlight for his dad at the University of Colorado in a program that was nothing before he got there for 2 decades. So those are the things that I'm looking at, is the things that you can't measure, and everyone wants to have an opinion about this guy. And listen, I get it, right? Yeah, he holds the ball too long and he drifts and all of those things. But I tell you what, this narrative that built up about Shedeur over this process, that's what I dislike about this draft.
So what do you dislike about this draft? I couldn't pick up what you just
narratives. This process, narratives.
No, I mean you couldn't
anonymous
have
or put your name on it. If you're going to say that, put your name on it. Like, grab a microphone and put your name on it.
Kurt, put your name on your thoughts of Shedeur Sanders, sir.
I will do that. And one thing that, I get tired of every year, too, is the narratives about just the physical and how hard you throw a football and how far you throw a football. To me, the quarterback position is about understanding how to throw different throws in the course of a game. And you look back at Shedeur Sanders, 74% completion last year. Over the last 2 years, just 13 interceptions. Normally, you think if a guy doesn't have enough arm strength, if he can't throw the ball the way he needs to, that number's going to be way higher. This is a guy that was competitive. This was a guy that was asked to carry his team each and every week. I don't think that can be overstated how important that is, to have a guy that you can put the ball in his hands every time and say, hey, you don't play well, we don't win. That is a tough position to be in with all the things that these guys are talking about with the spotlight on him. I think a lot of impressive things to really, really like about Shedeur Sanders.
Ian, what are you hearing about where he winds up tonight?
Well, let's start with the first potential landing spot, Rich. That is number 3 from the New York Giants. No team has scouted Shedeur Sanders over the last 2 years more than the Giants. If he gets by him, I have a hard time imagining it's number 9 at the Saints. Unless they've been playing the longest con ever, they are not fans. We'll see. Stranger things have happened in the draft world. Otherwise, look at 21 for the Steelers. Had a really nice visit with Shedeur Sanders. I know Mike Tomlin is a fan. If it is not Shedeur at 21, if it's maybe a defensive tackle, he might be out of the first round.
Out of the first round. I mean, you're right, Daniel, when you said it. First of all, you're right with what you said, Joel. +1 to everything that you just said. But Daniel, I don't recall. Again, this is draft 22 for NFL Network. I don't recall somebody who could be 3rd overall or not in the first round at all. That just makes no sense. It doesn't compute when you think about that.
Yeah, well, one thing is there's not that many quarterback teams, so there's not that many options, and the Saints just haven't, for some reason, haven't been in that market, haven't been in that discussion. So you just go from 3, 9's not an option, 21's the next one. That's the whole conundrum here.
I mean, if you want to potentially compare history, the first draft we ever covered on NFL Network, there was a quarterback who was potentially number 1 overall and almost fell out of the first round until the Green Bay Packers went up and drafted him in Aaron Rodgers. There really isn't much to compare what could be Shedeur Sanders night 2. And it's now time for night 1 here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It is time to put the Titans on the clock.
Champions aren't born. They're built all across America in places just like this.
All the time, regardless of what game it is or anything else, you play like champions every minute out there.
With each dream, each step, each moment, talent and drive meet persistence and time. Now, greatness comes into focus in a place called Titletown.
I had a dream.
Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers. Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes. The Buffalo Bills select Josh Allen. Commanders select Jaden Daniels.
Their journeys have led them here to the biggest leap of their lives. Playmakers who have honed their craft to perfection.
Ward fires across the middle.
Shador
To the end zone. Touchdown, Colorado.
Defensive disruptors
Abdul-Carter.
whose presence turns the game on its head.
Jetty to the right side. Touchdown.
A rare phenom on both sides of the ball.
Travis Hunter intercepted.
All chasing the moment that changes everything. A lifetime of work meets the timelessness of dreams.
He fires.
And the place where champions are made.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft.
And for the first time ever, the football hamlet of Green Bay, Wisconsin is home to a National Football League draft. Titletown has become Draft Town. And yes, it is a party in a parking lot in Wisconsin. That's the way things usually go. Nice and loose, getting set to hear his name tonight in a National Football League. Abdul-Carter, the man who wore the sticks in Penn State. Where will he wind up? Could he be going to New York? The man who normally runs on blue turf. We'll hear his name outside of the frozen tundra. But the man who might have the shortest night of all, warming up for the Tennessee Titans potentially to pick from the U, Cam Ward. Welcome to the NFL Draft presented by Verizon. Tens upon tens of thousands of fans, again, in the shadow of the football cathedral known as Lambeau Field, are here for the proceedings of the 2025 NFL Draft, draft number 22 for NFL Network. And I am humbled to be sitting here in the host seat for all 22 of them and counting. Rich Eisen here along with my guy, Daniel Jeremiah, Move the Sticks, which is potentially a very antiquated term. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Charles Davison from Fox Sports, my guy, Joel Klatt, all hanging out with us tonight. Kurt Warner and Ian Rappaport and Jamie Erdahl will join us. DJ, you have the first word. What you're looking forward to tonight.
Well, there's a couple stars at the top of the draft, and we're anxious to see where those guys go. But this draft is about starters. This is a very deep group of starters that these teams see wildly differently. So I was asked the other day, what's the consensus? There is no consensus. Is what's going to lead to an exciting night tonight, CD, because we really have no earthly idea of how these names are going to come off the board.
And contrary to popular belief, I actually listened to you. I listened to Joel. You guys have told me starters in this draft, but we still will have maybe some fireworks in the first round for people to go get some of those top-level guys, positions that you need, either running back, tight end, and quarterback.
Pretty simple, Rich. We're on Shador Sanders' watch. Where does he go? How high? How low? Does it go tonight?
We're here on a draft night in Wisconsin on a brisk April evening. It's usually a bit warmer when folks ride bikes around here in Green Bay. It's part of the tradition. Kids handing bikes to Packers players as they bike to training camp practice right here in Green Bay. And you can see folks biking around the draft hall amongst all the fans of all 32 teams. And I do believe the commissioner of the National Football League is on one himself to come on out and put the Titans on the clock. Oh, my gosh. Booing the commissioner.
Oh, my.
Well, he's doing a local custom.
I didn't think that actually he'd be riding on a bike.
He's like, if I don't get cheers now, forget it. It's just always going to be this way.
Taking him on, going around the whole stage.
I know you guys can't see it, but
Who's biking with him here?
I can.
I think I saw Mason Crosby.
I thought I saw him too. Some Packers legends coming out here as well.
James Jones.
And Lou Wade is here on the bike. On the bike.
Last seen in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
So the Packers fans elated to have the draft here, and it's time for the commissioner to kick off the proceedings tonight. Put down the kickstand, get to the mic stand, and put the Titans on the clock.
Okay. Come on.
Oh boy.
Okay, welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay,
Wisconsin. People said that Green Bay was too small for this, with a population of 107,000. But we have over 125,000 people here and still counting. Obviously, Green Bay may be small, but it's mighty. Thank you all for welcoming us here tonight, and hope you have a great few days. Over the next 3 days, we will welcome in the next generation of stars into the NFL and bring hope to every NFL team, and we may have a few surprises for you tonight. But first, let's hear from some of your Packer greats. Please welcome Clay Matthews, Jordy Nelson, Mason Crosby, Amon Green, James Jones, and Packer superfan Lil Wayne.
Man, this is going to be a good draft.
I'm going to go off script here real quick, Roger, but I just got off the phone with the President, Donald Trump. He asked me to pass a message along to all 32 NFL franchises. So let me tell you what it reads here, all right? It says, my fellow Americans, the Bears still suck! Roger, I'm sorry.
Wow. That's a first. That's the red meat being thrown out here in the dairy world.
Okay, Green Bay. It's time to get the show started. Are you ready? The 2025 NFL Draft is now officially open.
Yes!
The Tennessee Titans are on the clock.
All right. So, I don't know if that was the first surprise that Roger Goodell was
By the way,
in store.
Illinois, not a swing state. Reminder.
So, here we go. The Tennessee Titans draft room in Nashville, Tennessee, where we had a terrific draft a few years ago, where Pat McAfee burst onto the scene right there in Lower Broadway. Here we are with the Titans now 30 seconds in. And Will Levis, as we know, struggled last year as a starting quarterback. Their first overall on the clock, in part because the offense couldn't get things going. It was very turnover prone. There's, you know, a lot of other reasons why a team is first overall on the clock. Daniel Jeremiah, this should be Cam Ward from all intents and purposes.
It should be Cam Ward.
They have a need. They earned that first overall pick with where they were. There was a lot of work needed to be done on this roster. They went out in free agency. They got a couple offensive linemen to come in. They've tried to make this young quarterback friendly for someone like Cam Ward. And Cam Ward, through the process, coming into the season, you're talking about somebody who's viewed as maybe a day 2 pick. But, man, we have seen this pattern happen over and over again, who guys stay in college, they play that extra year, and they vault themselves, in this case, all the way up to the top pick in the draft. He has the upside, the ceiling, when he gets there to compete with all the other top quarterbacks within the AFC. That's what type of ability he has. He's not there right now, CD, but there's plenty to dream on, and this is one competitive kid.
and you're
Come
talking
on,
about
they've already
competing in your
wasted 2 minutes
division
because
and
of
chasing
freaking- they
C.J.
don't
Stroud.
know.
That's your first and foremost.
All right, let's
but I think
see.
that he has earned this
Should
spot,
we
Joel
draft
and
Cam
Rich,
Ward
because of this.
or- I don't know.
The Tennessee Titans made him earn it through the process. I don't think they went into the idea that a quarterback was absolutely going to be their pick at number 1. They were hoping for that king's ransom that John Robinson got in 2016 when he was the GM. Someone make us an offer. We need help everywhere on this roster. But as they kept going through the process, kept evaluating, kept going through things, Cam Ward earned their trust, earned their respect, and they hope that he will be their Steve McNair going forward as this franchise gets kickstarted once again.
That's nothing new for him, though. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. At least, you know, when I'm sitting here, I'm looking at a guy that was a no-star recruit. You know, he barely got recruited to Incarnate Word. Their head coach was Eric Morris at the time. Eric Morris was the offensive coordinator at Texas Tech when Patrick Mahomes was a Red Raider, and Eric Morris was there at Incarnate Word. Then he took the job at Washington State. Guess where Cam Ward went? To Washington State.
Washington State.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then he winds up at Miami, and again, a no-star recruit with one offer to go to Incarnate Word, winds up at Miami his last year as a consensus All-American. He's going to get selected #1 in the NFL draft. So you're talking about a guy just earning it in this process. He's earned it since day one in his college career.
And to DJ's point about him coming up through all this Incarnate Word to Washington State to this, yeah, competitive, but he could have come out in last year's draft and been a part of that. He took the extra year with Miami and vaulted himself into this position. That's what DJ's talking about with a number of these quarterbacks in recent years.
I think he made more money last year.
Well, and right now, he's stuck in the vortex of the Titans apparently taking one for the team by taking all 10 minutes instead of just handing in a card with his name on it like we've expected them to do over the last few weeks. Kurt Warner, you've got the floor.
Well, guys, you know, DJ talked about him maybe not being quite there yet. That reminds me a little bit of a guy named Patrick Mahomes, where you watched him in college and he wasn't always clean with his technique. And, you know, sometimes you question the decision-making, but there was no question about the talent and the competitiveness. And that's what I see in Cam Ward. He has got those things, and, you know, that arm strength and the ability to throw from different platforms is what makes you fall in love with Cam Ward. And so bring that competitiveness, bring that talent, clean it up a little bit, and I think Tennessee's got a really, really good quarterback.
And we just saw Brian Callahan on the phone, and they're beginning to pass it around, which means we're close. In the meantime, Daniel, let's take a look at some tape of Cam Ward.
Yeah, this is going to be fun tape to watch. A live arm.
Baker
the comparison
Mayfield?
for me, body type, play style had some Baker Mayfield to it, and a strong, sturdy
Baker
presence within the
Mayfield.
pocket. How about the power arm? Watch him get his feet in the ground and drive this ball into a tight window. The strength in the pocket. CD, you mentioned Steve McNair. This looks a little like McNair. His ability to shrug off a tackle and then still get the ball accurately down the field. Think about Caleb Williams last year. The ability to escape and create. He has some of those elements to his game. But as we're talking about things that need to clean up, there's times he's just trying to do a little extra, trying to make that special play, which has resulted in some mistakes, as you see here in these turnovers.
Yeah,
He's gifted. There's things to clean up, but I'm excited about him, guys. And when I reached out to Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator at Miami, he talked about the energy, the positivity that he has, and his ability to handle adversity. How about this number? In 13 drives after a turnover last year at Miami, 7 touchdowns, 3 field goals for this kid.
The pick is in. Ian Rappaport, let's send things to you.
Rich, my understanding is the Tennessee Titans had significant interest from other teams in trading for the #1 overall pick. Cleveland Browns called, the Giants called, offered next year's one. The New Orleans Saints inquired, no deal. The Titans had their guy, their leader for the future.
30 seconds into the Browns being on the clock, 2nd overall. Again, presumably Travis Hunter is now officially in play. So is the 2nd overall pick in this draft. The Giants waiting word of what the Browns are going to do. Then they choose 3rd overall. In case you're wondering, the last time the Tennessee Titans chose a #1 overall pick in a draft, stuck and picked at #1 overall, they were the Houston Oilers back in 1978, and they chose Earl Campbell, who, as we all know, is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. No pressure for whoever we're about to hear. So the commissioners coming on out. Now the Browns again are a minute plus in. Boy, things will begin to get quite interesting. Certainly, if the name's not Cam Ward here, let's put it that way, but we are expecting it. I mean, the Tennessee Titans sent absolutely everybody from the top of the flow chart to everybody on the social media teams of the Tennessee Titans to the University of Miami Pro Day to record everything. And that's not to just hand off that content to another team, let's be honest. So it's now time for the commissioner of the National Football League to come out with his own 2 feet instead of 2 wheels to announce the first pick of this draft.
With the first pick in the NFL draft.
Come on. With the first pick in the 2025 NFL draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback.
We knew it. Cam Ward.
So the expected is now official. And Cam Ward comes out of the green room. His night was as quick as we thought it would be. And he is the first overall pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, becoming the
I hope
third
he's a
player
good QB for the
from
Titans.
the University of Miami to be selected first overall in the Common Draft era. The last one was Russell Maryland. The one before that is Vinny
Brown's got to
Testaverde.
do like.
And yes, as we are
Brown might
watching
go
Cam
Abdul
Ward have
Carter.
this moment, I have to pass along that the Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock.
Incredible.
So the Browns.
There's no way the
took
Jags
2.5
just traded
minutes
up.
to field a call from Duval County, and the Jacksonville Jaguars have moved up from 5 to 2. 7 minutes until we hear that pick at the very least. In the meantime, let's give Cam Ward his due, Daniel Jeremiah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him at the next level. He's going to be able to expand the playbook, not only the play as it's designed, but his ability to extend and create as well. And it's ironic, CD, that as he mentioned the other day, he gets to go play with his favorite players, and Calvin Ridley and company, who he shouted out the other night.
And the other part about it is we probably haven't talked as much about how much he loves the game and absorbs and can create. Got a story about when he first got to Miami. First day of practice, able to go ahead and decipher defenses, change things quickly, and I think we got a live one in this young man very quickly there.
Okay, so while we're watching Cam Ward again have his moment, with all due respect, we will talk more about Cam Ward in a second, but a major trade
Cleveland
has
already
happened.
traded
it took
up.
all of about 7 minutes for the
Wait.
first trade of this draft to finally hit, and it is Jacksonville moving up to 2. Ian Rappaport
Cleveland
taking
might
away.
actually draft
A
Ashton Jenkins.
blockbuster trade. The Jacksonville Jaguars wanted to be bold, and they are in fact bold. They have agreed to terms with the Browns to trade from number 5 to number 2, with the Browns receiving a second rounder, number 36 overall, 126 overall this year, and next year's
I don't know what
first-round
they're gonna
pick
do.
could that
I
potentially
really
be
don't know.
used to get the Browns a quarterback of the
They
future.
could choose anybody
Maybe
for all I know.
now the Jacksonville Jaguars are in position to take a premium elite player in this draft.
2 and
I
a
think-
4 this year, and a 1 next year. And,
I think they
and the
should
Browns,
draft Abdul
are
Carter.
amassing those picks that you mentioned about. The
Well, that's
Jacksonville
just my
Jaguars are
opinion.
now on the clock. This is for Travis Hunter, correct?
It sure feels that way, and I made sure to get this quote right
Jerry
from
should
James
trade
Gladstone,
back,
the new
honestly.
general
There's no
manager,
point
at his
in
press
them picking
conference
a
said, I think it's pretty simple
high-picked
from my
player.
perspective. We will prioritize people and players that are intangibly rich, and by doing so, they will elevate our ecosystem, our team, by being nothing more than themselves. It's as simple as that. Charles, everything I know about Travis Hunter and talking to people that are around him, he only likes 3 things in life. He likes catching touchdowns, he likes taking the football away on defense, and fishing. That's it.
Well, that's part of the ecosystem, right? Didn't he just talk about an
There's no-
ecosystem
I don't
there?
think there's
Look,
a
he wants
point
great
in drafting
players. That's
Travis
what you want
Hunter.
in all of this, and he's going
Unless
to get
you're
one
actually
in
bold.
Travis Hunter. I think
And
he'll
if
play
you're
him on
gonna play him
offense
at
first,
corner.
but he's definitely going to play some defense there as well.
In the meantime, we say hello to Jamie Erdahl right now here on the stage with the first overall pick in
I
the
mean, just
draft.
let Brian Thomas
you got a lot
develop.
of number ones in your life. You started with one offer from Incarnate Word. You are now the number 1 overall pick. How does this moment feel to you?
It's special. God did everything for me. Him, myself, my family. And I'm just blessed to be here. I'm ready to get to work with the Titans, with my teammates. And I'm just ready to get the process going.
We've seen you playing football, playing catch in the back all night long. You're staying loose. How ready are you to get to Tennessee and show them what you got?
Well, I'm ready.
Exactly.
that's
They
all I've
drafted
been dreaming for is the
Trayvon
opportunity
Walker.
to
I don't
play in the
think
National
they
Football League, and they blessed me with it. So I'll
need
make sure they get
it.
everything
I
got.
think they need it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Also drafted
Thank you
Devin
very much,
Lloyd.
Jamie. Greatly
Okay.
appreciate that.
He's a middle linebacker, though. I highly
The
doubt
last
that they should
time a
draft
team traded up into the
someone that's
top 2
not
of a
a
draft
freaking
for a player
outside
not
linebacker.
a quarterback was when the Rams
you want,
traded
you
up
can
for
really-
Orlando Pace
Abdul
first
Carter
overall
really could play.
in the 1997
It's the picks
NFL
in.
draft. So a rare trade for a rare player and talent. They are hugging it out right now in Jacksonville. The
Ooh, I'm
pick is
scared
in.
to
The
see who it
Giants are
is.
now on the clock. They know who it is. We're about to hear who it is here. And Joel, we had to throw to the stage to
pray
give
that
Cam
is not
forward his due.
something
You
like
got,
Ashton
2 cents to
Genty at
chime in?
number.
On Cam?
Yeah, no, on Cam or
Freaking
whatever.
Well,
dude.
I'll give you the floor on whatever
First
you
of all,
want
let me
to
just finish up Cam because this guy started 57
I
games.
believe
He attempted
Cleveland's
2,300
gonna draft
passes.
him.
If
They
you
have
look at
no
guys that
running
won the
backs.
Super Bowl since 2000, their college career is 35 starts, about 1,200 attempts. So he's got the requisite experience to come in and play well. I think he'll continue to grow. I really love that pick for Tennessee. And then moving forward, guys, to this pick, Jacksonville moving up. We touched on this before the draft here in the pre-show. You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. Travis Hunter is the best wide receiver in the draft. He's also the best corner in the draft. And I believe that he should and will play on both sides, and he'll contribute. And he's going to be a
They
great
think
player in
he's
this
going to
league.
draft Travis
Gives you the
Hunter.
big plays on offense, and maybe
It
he's the
makes
guy
sense.
guarding Nico Collins.
But if they're
Houston's
drafting
big red
him, they
target
better
on
play him at
defense.
corner. or
This is going to be a
something, 'cause
very
I'm not
interesting deal.
Because
But
I don't
bottom
feel
line,
like
DJ,
they should do
you
that.
talked about this last night on your mock draft show. Trevor Lawrence, this is it, my man. And we're giving you every opportunity, and we're giving you every weapon we possibly can. That's
I don't even
exactly
think
how this
the
feels right now.
Jags
This has
did
got to
much
be
for
it
you.
for Trevor Lawrence.
And Hunter is such an amazing
bunch of
talent, and such an amazing
receivers,
athlete,
or like
and he's going to
by
see
bunch, I mean, like
one-on-one
3, I
coverage
think,
because
or
that
2.
dude on the other side, and Brian Thomas Jr., one of the
They added
best
the
young
tight end,
players,
which probably
regardless
was-
of
they added
position
2 tight
in the NFL. So it's all there. They got him a great play caller with an offense that fits Trevor Lawrence, and now he's got 2 big-time weapons.
Center,
If this
a
is where they
guard,
go.
and
Just
a
jumping in
corner.
here, we've got about 15 seconds till we hear the official. Who do you think Cleveland might choose 5th overall? Who do you think they move down if they're comfortable getting?
I'm curious if they go down again.
Yeah, move again, maybe.
Just commit to trying to get assets for next year. We'll see. This looks like they're taking in this quarterback class and saying we're going to next year.
And if they don't drop down, Kurt Warner may have been on it about the runner.
Well, Eric Armstead is the reigning Walter Payton Man of the Year from Jacksonville, and he's flanking the commissioner.
While we are here tonight to celebrate the 32 young men entering the NFL, I'm honored to take a moment to recognize a player who's made a profound impact on and off the field. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes one player each year who best represents greatness and compassion both on and off the field and in the community. Tonight, we are proudly joined by the 2024 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, Eric Armstead.
Come on, announce that they're going to draft in left end and you're going to be sad. Sorry, I meant edge rusher.
First off,
Oh my God, Tyler's going crazy. Tyler Sports is going crazy.
I want to say thank you to the commissioner. Thank you to the Payton family and the NFL and Nationwide. And also, too, tonight I want to encourage each player embarking on the NFL journey to identify a passion close to their heart and act upon it. Use your platform to make your community, the league, and this world a better place. As we remember Walter Payton, strive to leave a positive legacy of your own. Thank you.
Announce that. Announce the pick already. They're going to draft him.
We have a trade. The Cleveland Browns have traded the 2nd pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with the 2nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Hunter, wide receiver, defensive back from Colorado.
So the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I just don't get the point.
Gold,
Like,
sort of like the color of the
I don't think they really need him that bad.
Is dancing his way out
I
of
guess
the
they
green
could
room
play him
in,
at receiver, but that's going to ruin
taking
the
that hot pink
development of
to the
Brian
land of
Thomas.
teal. in Duval County, and the
I mean, I guess you
Jacksonville
should put him in.
Jaguars
Just put him
move
in
up
as like
3
slot
spots.
receiver
Trade next
or
year's
the
first
third
round
receiver
pick
on
and
the
other
depth chart.
considerations.
That way, he's not
for
used as much
the unicorn in
as
this
he would
year's
actually
draft.
be if he's the number
Last
2.
time a
And then that
wide
probably
receiver
works.
was
If he
taken second
also if he's like
overall was
full-time
when
corner.
this happened to Calvin Johnson in 2007.
Oh, great.
The last time a cornerback was chosen in the top 2 overall picks in the NFL draft. It hasn't happened in the common draft era, and it's the first time for both in one and the same individual, the guy who just put on a Jaguars hat.
DJ, of course he's running up there. He never gets tired.
No, he's not sweating, I can tell you that much.
115 plays per game. Just think about that. And right now, I'm just wondering, Champ Bailey, all those other guys who could, Charles Woodson, did they feel like they were born too soon, Joel, for them to be utilized like this young man will be utilized in the NFL?
He is
I
a
think he should
special
be able to
player,
play
certainly. Just between the lines, his instincts on both sides of the ball.
2
But the
positions.
conditioning is just off the
I
charts.
don't think he's
There's
that
no way
bad.
to explain it, DJ.
I didn't know that
Let's
he's
get
like
into some of the video, guys, and can show you
rival
what
of
he does
Nebraska.
on both sides of the ball.
He's not a bad player,
at
though.
Colorado. Let's start first of all on
That's
offense.
a dot.
Off the charts elite ball skills. This catch against North Dakota State was ridiculous,
finger.
and you see it over and over again. Him go up and get it. Now, how's Trevor Lawrence going to enjoy this? A quick little hitch here, and let him break a tackle, and off he goes, run after catch.
Man coverage is elite.
On defense, you'll see him in man coverage. I like him best when he's off. I think he's most comfortable there, but flashing
That's
some
a
man
good
cover
play.
skills there. This is his bread and butter. He's going to set traps and off coverage. He's going to read the quarterback and just use his instincts to go find and play the football. You look at some of these wide receivers and cornerbacks in the same game. That's pretty good company he's joining right there.
It's only fitting that the first player that we welcome to Primetime presented by Nationwide was coached by Primetime. Take it away, Jamie Erdahl.
Travis, what is making you jump around this stage with glee? You just got drafted as the first two-way player in a long time. What is happening in your heart right now?
I'm just super excited, you know. I get to go back home, but I also, you know, somewhere I wanted to play, and I'm so excited that they picked me.
The Jacksonville Jaguars just traded up to get your services to their team. What conversations have you had with them with how you are going to be used in the NFL?
The crazy part is I had no conversation with them outside of the combine, so I didn't know what to expect, and I'm excited that they came and picked me. I wanted to cry, but I can't cry right now because I'm too excited.
We can feel that. Congratulations, Travis.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Born in West Palm Beach, now going to be employed in Duval County. And boy, they were playing possum since the combine, huh? You said they didn't talk since the combine. And the Jaguars just make us bold. And look at Tony Khan hugging his dad right there. They are fired up at the draft party as well. You can only imagine how they're feeling in Cleveland right now. But hey, Browns fans, let's see what the Browns do next. In the meantime,
oh yeah,
I'll
the
give you
Browns are
floor,
going to
Mr.
freaking
Colorado
trade
Buffalo.
not trade back.
Right now,
Draft Genty because they feel so salty that the Raiders do not deserve him.
What he embarked
Exactly
on
what's
coming
going to
out of
happen.
hall school. Remember, this is the
And
number
now the
one
Giants
player in the
get
country that
Abdul
decided to go to
Carter.
a HBCU to play for Deion Sanders. Why? So that he could bet on himself and play both sides of the football. That's
Hey,
why
he's
he
not
went
bad.
there. And Deion gave him that chance.
I just don't know
His
if
instincts are off the charts. Just think about it. At all times when he's on the field, he's the best defender and best receiver once the ball's in the air. That's just something to lean
That
on. And when I think about
2021-2022
toughness
year
and
for the Giants was a
competitive
fluke.
instincts, this guy comes to mind. I just don't see how he doesn't succeed at the next level. He's a unicorn. He's one of one. The only comparison that I can give to him, it's not Prime, it's not Champ Bailey, it's Shohei Ohtani, because he's going to impact the game to that level on both sides.
Look, my background's in scouting, and I'd love to throw a bunch of fancy terms out about him. Sometimes you got to
They might have Josh Allen, but that'd be
If you want to go
illegal
out to
too.
recess, he's the first pick. That's what it is. He's just better at football, and he can do everything.
And one of the most dynamic receivers in the league last year was rookie Brian Thomas Jr.
I
and
just
now
don't-
here comes
I just
another
think
rookie who could also play
if they
corner
took
for
if
the
the,
Jaguars. The Giants pick is in. The Patriots are on
Jaguars-
the clock. 2 minutes
I don't
in
know why they
on
did
that.
it. I
Kurt
mean,
Warner, let's give you the floor.
Unless they
Well, I love what you
plan
guys
on
are
not
talking about when
actually
you talk
starting
about
him
instincts,
at
because
receiver
the
most
best
of the time
players I played
and
with on
starting
the
him
offensive
more at
side were
corner,
the guys with instincts that
then that
understood
works,
and
except
had a feel
if
for
he
the game.
starts
The
at
hardest
receiver
guys
more than he
I
starts
played
at
against
corner,
on the defensive
then
side
that's going to
were the
ruin
guy with
Brian
instincts,
Thomas'
not the guys
development
with the
probably.
physicality, but understood the movement of guys around them and could play the football.
How do you
Travis
score
Hunter can do all that.
16.1 points a game,
The Giants are
New York?
celebrating their selection in this draft.
And how
There's
is that
Steve Tisch, John
31st?
Mara, the coach, Brian Daboll, Joe Shane, GM, and a very interesting jacket. I like it right there. It's very. Is that in honor
Giant
of Wink Martindale? I don't know
selection.
what that is.
Pick
Here's the
in the
commissioner.
2025 NFL Draft,
Okay,
the New York Giants select Abdul Carter,
we knew it.
defensive end, Penn State.
So the
Micah
first spot
Parsons.
that could have gone to
Micah
Shedeur
Parsons.
Sanders that we expected does go as expected to a dynamic Penn State Nittany Lion. Abdul Carter, he is now going to Broadway with Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau and the rest of that
Let's see
terrific
some of his
defensive line.
highlights.
Usually when
I
the
know
GM
you can't
gives
see
someone
him,
in the draft room a quick rip move, that means that they've just taken a pass rusher that he's
I don't know
very
what's wrong with
excited
my
about.
thing.
Abdul Carter, to me,
Get
there's
off
two
Ben
big-time elite
Von
players,
Miller,
whatever
really.
order you have them between Hunter and Carter, those are the guys. Big-time burst off the line of scrimmage. He just reminds me a little bit of Von Miller, the way he can bend and the speed that he has off the line. These are early wins where you see tackles like this one at USC not even get a hand on him, and then he's able to turn that short corner. That quick first step,
That's
again,
another
these are
hard hit.
early, quick wins for Abdul Carter. He used to be an off-the-ball linebacker. You want him to play off the ball, no problem. He can range laterally sideline to sideline.
I'm going to feel bad for that quarterback who has to deal with that
maybe Jalen Hurts inside the
465-pound
division. We can have
freaking
him mirror and
defensive
spy and
tackle
do that as
trying
well.
to sack him
Again,
every play.
this is an elite player, and he's an elite player in any draft.
And let's face it, they
What's
have
a
to get
slow
better in their own
quarterback
division.
that
Who
probably
they're
gets sacked
chasing
by
down.
him?
They're chasing down Philadelphia,
They
chasing
start
down Washington
Kirk
with the
Cousins.
dynamic young quarterback. Second
Just
part of
depends.
all of this is don't forget Kayvon Thibodeau's status. Is the fifth-year option in play? What's going to happen there? Right now, there's three great pass rushers. He may be the replacement if Thibodeau's not there anymore. So this is a big-time move for them. And by the way, Rich, you're from New York.
Yes, sir.
Is it not baked in? I know you're a Jets guy. Is it not baked in the DNA of
not
Giants
bad,
fans to play
Dick.
defense? That's a big deal for them. To get back to playing defense the way the Giants have done it in the past, Abdul Carter helps get them there.
Giants fans enjoying that pick. It's the seventh Penn State player selected in the top three. The Giants have taken the last two.
Oh my
Saquon
God.
Barkley in 2018, and then Abdul Carter joining a fellow Stick City guy in the NFC East.
Well, he had 11 from day one at Penn State. James Franklin knew what he had when he came in as a true freshman. He gave him that number, which means everything on that side of the football there at State College. And I will tell you, I think he's going to be a great Giant. He's going to be disruptive. He only played 1 year, guys, on the edge, and he was that disruptive behind the line of scrimmage. He's only going to develop in terms of his pass rushing moves and the way that he can get after the quarterback. I think he's an elite player. He could have a Micah Parsons-like impact. I really do. I think he could have that in the NFL.
I also want to go back to when the season ended and we saw the official draft order. We looked at those two teams
how
at
good
2
Will
and 3,
Campbell is.
Cleveland and
Somebody
the Giants
is
as
gonna have to explain that to me.
teams. Would they go quarterbacks? So far, we've seen one trade and we've seen one pass rusher. So we'll see as we get through the rest of these quarterback teams, something to follow as we go through. Are we going to see another one? Are we going to see two? That's going to be something to keep an eye on.
Do we think New England is disappointed that these two are off the board? Did they hope that a quarterback would somehow go before them so they could select either Travis or Abdul? Probably.
Well, they didn't trade out. The pick is in, and the Browns are on the clock for the second time tonight. We're barely a half an hour into this draft. Again, if you're just joining us, the Jacksonville Jaguars moved up from 5 to 2 to take Travis Hunter. The Browns moved from 2 to 5, got a 1 in next year's draft. There was a swap of fourth-round picks. They also, the Cleveland Browns, wound up coughing up another selection in this draft to, Jacksonville to Cleveland for the right to have Jacksonville move up and select Travis Hunter. Jamie Erdahl is on the stage with Abdul Carter.
Abdul, you are born and raised in Philadelphia. You are wearing a New York Giants hat now. What does that tell you about your football future and the commitment the New York City market has made to you?
Yeah, I love it. I appreciate New York. They get everything out of me. I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful to have this opportunity.
In what ways are you going to make this Giants defense incredible?
Just being myself, just being incredible. That's what I am. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing my whole life in New York. I'm coming. Y'all going to get the best out of me.
Got a great smile, Abdul. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to him, and congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars. This may be one of their best draft nights in recent memory. They make the big splash, and we're going to break for the first time on a team other than Jacksonville. See, it's not you, it's us, is basically what we're saying.
Verizon Small Business Days are back. Our experts?
Welcome in.
Closer than you think.
Yes, great.
Nice surprise, huh? Ready to help. Serving up deals, advice, wherever you are. Even on the job.
Hey. Hi.
And making sure all your tech
Let's take a look.
is good to go. April 21st to 27th. Don't wait. Get started today.
If you keep making that face, it's going to stay like that.
I'm trying to get my own car insurance.
USAA. Grandpa was in the military. He shared membership with your mom so she could share with you. Easy.
USAA. Check if you're eligible today.
This is Roundup for Lawns. This stuff works. This stuff kills weeds down to the root without killing your lawn. This stuff works on dandelions, crabgrass, clover. This stuff works for up to 3 months. This stuff works guaranteed or your money back. This stuff works on big lawns, small lawns, and I guess you can call that a lawns. This stuff works without killing your lawn. This stuff works without killing your weekend. This stuff works for the rookies and the seasoned pros. This stuff works in Knoxville, Bronxville, Rockville, Marysville. This is Roundup for Lawns. This stuff works.
Why do NFL players choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
I like to sleep cool.
And I like to sleep even cooler.
And I really like it when we both get what we want.
Meet the Sleep Number Climate Cool smart bed. Sleep up to 15 degrees cooler on each side. Visit a Sleep Number store near you.
Chocolate fundraiser. With the Chase mobile app, things move a little more smoothly. Deposit checks easily and send money quickly. That's convenience from Chase.
Check out the new whip.
Tight, fully custom.
How many Bud Lights can you fit in that puppy? As many Bud Lights as it takes.
It's a lot of Bud Lights. You have to give me one of those.
Lowe's knows that the projects you build in spring are the ones you can't wait to share. It's why we make sure you have our best deals with My Lowe's Rewards and that you get help from people who've
Been there.
done that.
Try this.
This spring, we'll help you build something rewarding. Hey, Stan.
What's up? I made you something. Oh, thank you.
I got something for you.
You grew these? Of course.
Lowe's knows how to help you spring.
Turn the off-season on again with the NFL app. Your home for all things NFL. Get the news, the highlights, and more access with a subscription to NFL Plus for the picks, the moves, the plays. All in one place. All year long. Welcome home.
Browns fans in my life are not happy. Well, we'll see what they're going to do right now. There's less than 5 minutes there on the clock. My son Cooper's not happy because we went to break on his Patriots. Hey, Coop, we're about to get the commissioner in less than 20 seconds time. And the Browns, I believe, have selected. So, Vegas is now on the clock for the first time in this draft. 9 minutes and counting. So here's the 4th overall pick to be announced by the commissioner as the 6th overall pick is in the process of being made in Vegas.
With the 4th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell. Tackle, LSU.
So the Patriots decide to go for protection up front for their
that was
diamond
a
in the
good
rough
move.
quarterback rather than anything else. Your thoughts, Daniel Jeremiah?
Of all the teams in this draft, to me, the tackle need for the Patriots was probably the most glaring across all 32 teams. They had to go in this direction. They go with Will Campbell out of LSU, who reminded me a lot of Michael Roos, going the Wayback Machine, if you remember him playing for the Tennessee Titans. Very smooth. He's played a lot of football. He started as soon as he got on campus there at LSU. When guys get into him, he does have a firm base. He can recover as well. The temperament to finish is outstanding. You see that here in the run game as he's able to displace defenders and create a lot of movement there at the point of attack. Much was made about the arm length. Does he need to slide in and play guard? I think he can hold up at tackle, but in an absolute worst case scenario, you've got yourself a Pro Bowl caliber guard down the road. But they had
That
to
was a good
address the
pick.
offensive line. They had no choice.
Yeah, and you were mentioning Michael Roos. What about Rashawn Slater? People wondered about him. He has held up well at tackle for the Los Angeles Chargers.
I think
Remember,
that was
guys,
good
they
fit.
took care of a lot of their needs
But
on defense. In free
we'll know
agency,
why
getting Milton Williams, getting Harold Landry,
Ashton
Robert
Genty
Spillane at
goes
linebacker,
to the
Carlton
Browns.
Davis at corner. The tackle was a huge need, as DJ said. And by the way, that offensive line last year, Joel Klatt, absolutely abysmal.
Unless
And he
they
drafted
somehow
Drake
draft
May last year. You better
Shedeur
start taking
Sanders,
care of that
I
young
wouldn't be
quarterback.
mad
It
at.
started
I just don't
tonight
know
with Will Campbell.
Hey, I'd be interested in what Kurt thought about the way Drake played last year, but I thought he played
Drake.
well enough where it's like, okay, we got
Who's
something
Drake
here.
now?
Now let's go build around him. And you're getting a really consistent player up front, 38 straight starts, didn't struggle with injuries. I agree with you, Daniel. Even if you have to move him inside, that's a win.
When I did a Patriot game last year, I normally like to try and circle the offensive lineman who I think could be vulnerable that teams could go after. I just circle the whole group. I mean, that's how bad they were. The worst pressure rate in the NFL last year. They've done a lot in free agency, and now they just added the 4th overall pick.
And the bottom line is this. I mean, the Patriots got Stephon Diggs to add to that offense, and Josh McDaniels is back to coordinate it, and that alone should improve things, both of those, along with this draft choice. As
4
Mike
sacks
Vrabel's first
allowed
draft
on
choice as the new HC of the
1,500
New England
snaps.
Patriots, it's time to welcome Will Campbell to Primetime, presented by Nationwide.
And it's time to
Jamie?
welcome Ashton Genty to the Browns because they traded up and hate us. Raiders.
Will, you are Mr. Louisiana, but you just got a love letter from the New England Patriots. You haven't stopped smiling since you heard your name. What's behind that smile?
Man, just all the hard work.
Congratulations.
Been about an hour. 50 minutes. 50 minutes of the NFL draft, and we're just only on 3 selections, 4 selections now.
To be able to get my name called by a franchise like New England, it means everything to me.
He's crying.
We can feel that. We absolutely can feel that, Will. You are brought to New England to protect
I don't
Drake
blame
May.
him.
What kind of tone are you going to set on this offensive line?
I'm going to fight and die to protect them with everything I got.
Congratulations, Will.
Fight and die.
In case you couldn't tell, Will Campbell's not from New England. Now
That's-
he is from Monroe, Louisiana. Now heading to Foxborough, Massachusetts. Ian Rappaport,
Pick is
take
in
it
with
away.
the 5th pick
With
in
the
the
Cleveland
NFL
Browns
draft.
next at 5,
The
my understanding
Cleveland
is
Browns
they got
have
several
selected
calls
Ashton
from teams about
Genty.
potentially trading back. They have some interesting options. They have the top defensive lineman on the board. They have 2 top offensive linemen. We'll see what the Browns end up doing.
I just
And
don't
obviously
want him to
Abdul
select
Carter went to
Genty,
the
but I know
Giants.
it's going to happen.
Don't rule out the Giants coming back into the first round to try to get a quarterback. Yes, even
Okay,
Shedeur
the Browns
Sanders
are trash.
definitely in the realm of possibility for the Giants.
Definitely
They
keep
haven't
an
won
eye on
the
all
division
of
title
that as
since
Vegas is now almost
89,
halfway
excuse me.
through their first round draft pick, the first of Pete Carroll's
I
return
think
to head coaching in the NFL, the first of
Browns
Tom
are
Brady being officially part of the
I don't-
ownership group in Las
I don't
Vegas,
want to be that
Nevada.
mean to them, but
So,
I don't
just
think
an
they're that
interesting
good.
first 5 minutes of us
But since they're
waiting
probably
for
going to
Vegas
get
to
Ashton
make a choice. Who do you
Genty.
think Cleveland's choosing here? Is it Ashton Genty? What do you think?
I would think you'd be
Stick and
looking
pick?
at another trade. I'm just curious to see if they're going to pick.
They didn't.
Or if they're going
No, they're picking.
Oh, the pick is actually in.
brother.
Well, Ashton Genty's my highest rated player, but they have a glaring tackle need. And they have other options out there. Armand Membu is out there. Kelvin Banks from Texas is out there. So that, to me, is a position they have to address.
Which I'm sure is why they were thinking they could move down, is because there's guys they could move down and get at that position of need, so probably just didn't get the value they wanted.
Let me guess, the
we
Jets are going to
hadn't
select
had
Ashton
a
Genty
single
if the
trade
Raiders don't
involving a
because
first-round draft choice
I
from
need
the
to
new
stop.
league
I
year
actually need to
to
stop.
draft night. Then we
Why
had
did they
one
show the
right
running-
off the bat
run
with the
stats
Browns
again?
moving down to make this selection.
With the 5th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
Please don't be Genty. Please don't
the
be
Cleveland
Genty.
Browns
Please don't be
select
Genty.
Mason Graham.
Yes!
Defensive tackle, Michigan.
Wow. Browns fans, welcome in a Wolverine to the mix.
That was a good pick.
It's Mason Graham going
It's
to
like
Cleveland.
wanting to have
No Travis Hunter, 2nd overall. They have 5th overall. It's Mason Graham, a terrific defensive lineman, to round out the top 5 as the new Cleveland Brown.
Yeah, he's my 4th overall player, so I love the value they're getting here. This is a guy with a wrestling background who is unbelievable against the run. You cannot move him at the point of attack. He plays with incredible leverage, and then he also flashes this ability, as he showed against Alabama, to penetrate, make his way into the backfield. Just a dominant player against the run. Pass rush-wise, I think there's more growth to come there, but he shows you in flashes when he can get on an edge and get to the half of a man that he's a load to block. But he has an unending gas tank. He plays so hard from start to finish, the beginning of the game to the end of the game, and one of the most productive, consistent players in this draft class.
When I think about the last 15 years in college football, I think of
The
the
Raiders
most
better
disruptive
select
and
Genty,
impactful
or I'm
defensive
never going to watch
tackles
the
that
Raiders
I've
play
seen.
again.
And Ndamukong Suh comes to mind. Nick Fairley comes to mind. At Auburn, CD, you remember those guys, obviously. And Mason Graham. I mean, he is always on his feet. He is powerful. He's got a great attitude, and he's got a tough attitude. He will walk in, and his confidence, just as a deep interior defensive player, will ooze to every other defender there, knowing that, hey, he's going to make the linebackers better. He's going to make the safeties better. He's going to make everybody better in that defense.
Including Myles Garrett, because that's a guy who the Browns kept. And now they add Mason Graham to that line. The Grim Reaper's got some extra help.
And remember, Dalvin Tomlinson no longer there. They needed help in the interior. But go to the division they play in. Who's the most dominant team in the AFC North right now? It's the Baltimore Ravens. What do they do? First, last, and always. Run the football with big people coming at you all the time. You've got to hold up in those circumstances. And Pittsburgh has gotten their line better. They want to get back to running the football with more consistency. This guy may show up. It looks like his shirt tail's out. He may not look like the perfect specimen. When he comes out of his stance, DJ and Joel, and he shocks you with those hands, guess what? He's going to go and make a play after that.
Yeah, he's incredible in that regard. You know, there's only a few times that I can remember being in a booth and calling a game and thinking to myself, hey, the defensive tackles won the game. And they did that against Ohio State, who won the national championship. Ohio State kept trying to run the football at Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham, and Mason Graham just kept throwing their guards onto the ground and making tackles. I mean, they single-handedly won that game in Columbus.
Well, look at me when
the
you're
Raiders
saying that.
actually
Look at
don't
him.
draft Genty, then
In all honesty, the
freaking
most
Bears are
important
going to
trait
get Genty.
anybody from Cleveland wants to have, and a Brown is
Oh
someone
my
who
God,
knows how to win in the state of Ohio.
Wow.
You know, and you were saying it. I'm just backing your play, Joel.
Because the Giants, because the Jets don't need a running back unless they trade Breece Hall.
He is 4-0 against Ohio.
Thanks for that information.
I just wanted to
Jamie Erdahl, take it away.
Mason Graham, you are a Michigan man, but did you just make nice with the state of Ohio?
I guess so. I mean, that's where my future's at, and I'm going to do everything I can, put Cleveland back on top.
You hang up that phone call and you know you're about to line up next to Myles Garrett every day. How does that sound?
I mean, it's such a blessing. He's a fierce competitor. I want to play with guys like that. And yeah, he's the real deal. So
congratulations, Mason.
Appreciate it.
So we were talking in mock draft world, right? Cam Ward, then Travis Hunter, then Abdul Carter, then Will Campbell, then Mason Graham. The only thing that's non-chalky about it is Jacksonville took Travis Hunter. Cleveland took Mason Graham.
I
and
haven't
then
seen
everyone
any
was
trade-ups.
sharpieing in Ashton Genty to Vegas, and lo and behold, Vegas took about 3 minutes to make their pick, and I'm wondering if it is in fact for Ashton Genty.
Yeah, I thought there was a good chance Ashton Genty could be gone.
They need a lot of stuff.
To pick him at this
Hashtag
point in time,
Twitter
as
Sanders.
well as some offensive tackles out there.
No,
Jets have
they're
been on the
Geno
clock
Smith. They're
almost
fine.
the last 5 minutes for the first pick of the Aaron Glenn administration.
If
Here
the
comes the
Steelers do
commissioner
not take
with the
Jackson
6th
Dart,
overall
I'd love
pick.
to take him in
And
the
who
second
is going
round.
to be the new Las Vegas Raider?
It's Genty. You know this.
With the 6th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton Genty.
Yes!
Running back.
Let's go! Ashton Genty.
To silver and black. Ashton Genty is the first choice of the Pete Carroll administration, and I was talking to Ashton on my show a couple weeks ago. Interestingly enough,
Let's see what they
one of
say
the
about
running
Ashton
backs he's been
Genty. I'm
talking to
curious.
for advice is Marshawn Lynch.
Oh my God, Marshawn Lynch.
DJ.
Yeah, you talk about two guys who hate to be tackled. I would put him in that company.
Slippery and
He starts out with
elusive.
that unique stance. He's standing upright. He is very slippery and elusive. You see him get out of some tough situations when you're watching that Boise State
Contact
tape.
balance.
But this is the calling card. Again, you've got an unblocked defender. They get free cracks at him, and you can't get him on the ground because of that contact balance. He is just a piece of muscle. There's not a lot of surface to hit on him. You see, again, the contact balance here, always finding a way to
Through
get forward.
contact.
Right foot, right shoulder, able to power through as it's time for Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. You look at these top NGS overall scores.
Wow.
And look at the company.
Christian McCaffrey. He tied with Christian McCaffrey for the highest
productive
score. And Bijan and Saquon.
NFL. So one of the fun players to watch. If you had any questions,
He's so
just watch
happy.
the Oregon game, kick your feet up on the desk and enjoy.
That was pretty early in the season, too.
He's so
Kind of announced his
happy.
presence with authority, didn't he?
That makes me
Here's
happy,
the other thing
too.
to think about. Pete Carroll as a head coach. We always talk about past successes, how you did it. Is that predictive? Well, you mentioned Marshawn Lynch already, Rich, and how they built that team in Seattle.
7
Pete's
yards
gonna
a
probably
carry?
wanna build
That
this
is
team
insane.
similarly. And remember, in free agency, they went ahead and added to their roster anyway. Added to the offensive line a little bit. They got to figure out Colton Miller at left tackle. But running the football, being tough and physical, building on defense.
I think Gentry's
that's
gonna
the
be
Pete
great for
Carroll
us.
way, and he has his bell cow running back to do that as they try and chase down Kansas City.
And remember, Chip Kelly goes down and with the Vegas Raiders, and you talk about creative run game, you know, in terms of where are you entering the defense, all of these different, you know, Chip is going to get that run game going, there's no doubt. Here's what I love about Ashton Genty is it's, again, kind of like Cam Ward, a bit of a long road. Rich, his military family was in Italy, so then he moves to Texas, doesn't get a starting role on his high school team, so he has to play slot receiver. He's got that in his background, finally gets to Boise State and runs for 2,600 yards.
And now he's a Las Vegas Raider hanging out with Jamie Erdahl.
Ashton, you are going to the entertainment capital of the world to play football. What makes you a headliner for the Las Vegas Raiders?
I mean, you seen it, the energy, you seen the dance moves. I'm ready to go entertain each and every week on Sunday.
The commissioner of the NFL just picked you up in that hug. Is that the last man that's going to try to tackle you in the NFL?
Nah, I don't think so.
Congratulations, Ashton.
Thank you.
So there goes Ashton Genty. The Jets pick is in, and we're going to get that when we come back from break.
Who's the Jets quarterback right now? Oh yeah, Justin Fields. There's no point.
Very interesting choice for Browns fans to be hearing.
Some of those Browns fans did stop believing about 30, 40 minutes ago.
Pick is in for the Jets. Let's see who they pick.
This song is also known for
They're gonna pick the defensive player,
the
hopefully.
members only jacket offering somebody. So let's think a little bit more positively for
I
the
think
Browns.
they're gonna draft the
Ashton
defensive
Genty
player.
left here in his name. We'll hear who's the next New York Jet when we come back.
Wait, no, they're gonna draft Tyler Warren here. It would be good to see Tyler Warren go to the
product not yet rated to everyone.
The Detroit Lions select.
Oh my God, the Madden trailer. Completely forgot about it.
Hello?
JD, it's Coach DQ with the Commanders. You ready for this?
Been ready, coach.
Man, I already know. You've been building for this
Your whole life. Just sit with that a minute, man, how important this is. Because anyone don't make it this far. Anyone don't make it to the top. Thankfully, I'm not just talking to anyone. No, sir.
Welcome home.
Hey, turn me up a little bit more in the earphones.
You might know Harbor Freight for affordability. What you might not know is performance and durability go
2 year,
right along
40
with
million
it.
only?
You see, we test, and then we test again. World-class engineering and rigorous testing to ensure our tools perform at the highest level and stand the test of time without testing your wallet. Now, it's time for you to put us to the test. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
There's so much time left.
That's crazy.
You guys seen this?
Shake it, shake it. If I'm playing to win. Stay solid, don't break the win. On my way to the cash, I've been.
This
Do it again.
draft been so that's been decent.
We gon' do it
My biggest frustration with other deodorants is that they don't hold up, especially to a hard physical job. Over the course of the day, Mando holds up, keeps me fresh all day long. I wanted something that works, and Mando works.
I'm Belinda, and this is Willard, and we were adopted in 2021. When we first met Todd, he was singing a song, and I was like, wow, look at this kid with the biggest smile, and he has a big heart to match.
The energy you give Todd, you get it back from Todd.
Yes.
Todd's a joy.
Yes, he
Todd's
is.
really is a great joy.
I love him. You and you.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/olderadults.
Time for a green room built by Lowe's. Checking on who's back there still here in Green Bay.
Tyler Warren is going to the Jets.
Ready to find out who the first pick of the draft is for Gang Green. As Will Johnson of the University of Michigan is back there. Mason Graham, his teammate from the championship team 144, as it's known in Michigan, just went to the Cleveland Browns. I mean, last year, the Jets had an opportunity to take the top tight end on the draft board. Went offensive line with Olu Fashanu anyway. Look where we are. They have a shot at going for the top tight end with pick number 7 in this draft, or they could go Membu. There could be all different ways that the Jets could go with this pick. But it's now time, instead of to speculate, to get the actual pick from the commissioner. Once upon a time, if I'm not mistaken, a former intern of the New York Jets coming out with this pick right now. He's been upgraded a little bit up the flow chart since then.
With the 7th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Armand Membu.
Wow.
Missouri. Tackle.
Again?
So once again, no tight end. Instead, it is a member of the offensive line for the New York Jets, the kid from Missouri, Armand Membu.
Why are they drafting so many offensive linemen? It's not a bad thing.
Decision would be tight end tackle, as you said.
I'm just curious, like, why?
He's very explosive and easy bender and can redirect, because they like the tight ends that could be available on day 2 versus
I know Woody Johnson.
would be available.
No, Woody Johnson knows he's not going to be a 99.
He's very quick.
Right?
He's also patient. He's got that size where even if guys get into his chest, you really can't get through him because he's just so strong and has such a firm base. In the run game, you see his athleticism.
That's not even fair, bro.
Level. He can reach and cut guys off. That's going to be fun with the running backs they have there.
They're pretty
with
good.
The New York Jets. It's time for Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. And you're talking about athleticism. How about this? All the way at the very top of the charts here with his athleticism score over Gray Zabel. Guys, I was with the Philadelphia Eagles when Jason Peters was there. They're body doubles for one another, what they look like.
So we heard Don't Stop Believin', and James Gandolfini's favorite team went, hold on, wait
I
for
think
Membu
Panthers have to select Tyler Warren. Or they're going defense player.
Thank you so
I
much.
don't want to think it.
Tip the waiter. I will be here all
Tip
week.
your waiter.
Panthers pick when we come back. Saints on the clock here in Green Bay.
Oh my god, Gentie's so short.
What makes
That
iconic?
looks
It's a feeling.
so short.
It's a flavor. It's every moment. It's every detail. It's the excitement. It's the journey. But most importantly, it's the destination. Book your iconic stay at Caesar's Palace.
The future is here. We've been creating it for more than 100 years, putting the most advanced technology into people's hands. Generation after generation, tool after tool, again and again. bringing you the most reliable network of authorized sales and service dealers, always moving forward. We lead, others follow.
Why can't we say we're the best home shopping site?
Because while true, you just can't say that legally.
What if we said it in Spanish?
Homes.com es el mejor.
No.
What if he said it?
Homes.com. It's the best.
Homes.com.
It's the best.
Hey, you know you're not actually allowed to drink in a beer commercial?
Since when?
You gotta wait till it's done. Oh,
5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Rise and shine.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
GMFB is live from LA, and we've got all things football.
We're here, baby. Let's get it.
All the bold takes.
They just don't lose.
No one in the league is playing better than him.
Dives into the end zone.
He knows how to develop a winning culture.
All the big stars.
a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger.
I've never been so fired up at 5 o'clock in the morning in my life. And all the fun.
If that's your jam, this is for you.
Good Morning Football. Tomorrow at 8 on NFL Network.
Your hair is personal, and so is hair loss. Through Hims, you can get access to proven
So is this really the ad everybody gets to see now?
all types of hair loss. Your prescription and any follow-ups or questions are handled by licensed medical providers, 100% online.
This
so
should
whether
not
you
be
want to
allowed.
chew, pop, spray, or drop your way to regrowth, Hims can help you find the hair loss treatment that works for you. For regrowth in 3 to 6 months, get started today at hims.com.
Is this really what I gotta do?
Stay ready for any hairy situation with effective body care. Flamingo, anything but dull.
Yeah, the NBA playoffs are here, and it's about to be ridiculous. This isn't about who's next. This is about who's now. This time is different.
Call it B-ball.
Tonight's aerial cam coverage
Okay, still can't
of
see.
this special
I don't know
Green
why
Bay
you
night
guys
is
can't see the
presented
draft.
by
You see
Goodyear.
random
Look
ads.
at that. A smattering of fans inside Lambeau. 125,000 fans outside of Lambeau in what is normally the parking lots
Tied
the
third.
east and
Come on.
northeast entrances of this football cathedral. That is David Tepper, the owner
I want
of
the Panthers to
Carolina
make the
Panthers,
playoffs so
yucking
bad.
it up with the newest member of the team. We're about to hear that pick while New Orleans is halfway through the time allotted for the 9th overall pick in this draft. Is this a Jalen Walker spot, you think?
Well, this defense was terrible last year, so
then that's
you
a
could
yes.
really look at a lot of different areas. The pass rush, just finding playmakers on the defensive side of the ball is something that's much needed in Carolina. You also have Bryce Young, who, man, what a kick save. After he got a chance to catch his breath, came back and played better. You could also try and give him a little sugar and give him somebody that can make some plays for him as well. This is a team that's still in the development process here with Dan Morgan as the general manager, Dave Canales is the head coach. There's needs kind of littered all over this roster.
Yeah, he really can't go wrong on it, is what you're saying, right? Either way, you got to take care of it. Our crew last year surprisingly ended up doing 4 Carolina Panthers games, many of them near the end of the year, and Bryce Young got better and better and better. The numbers weren't eye-popping, they weren't staggering, but you saw him improve and grow throughout that process. So if they go in that direction, you're saying, hey, we're going to give you one more, we'll give you another opportunity. Maybe they give him someone on offense, but I really thought it would be a defensive pick. Mason Graham, he's off the board. Jalen Walker was the one I had in mind.
Panthers selection.
And here's the commissioner with the 8th overall pick. First one for the Panthers tonight.
Come on, do something
With
good.
the 8th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
Just hope
the
they don't
Carolina
select
Panthers select Teteroa McMillan.
Oh.
Wide
Whoa.
receiver, Arizona.
Whoa.
So they go offense, and they go Ted McMillan, who is technically the second wide receiver chosen tonight. And
That is surprised me.
Kid from Arizona coming out, and he is going to join this offense in Carolina.
Well, Dave Canales got this job based off
He
what he did in
didn't-
Tampa
that's not a
Bay
bad
with a
pick.
big receiver like Mike
It was
Evans
just
and
very
that explosive
surprising.
offense they had there.
Drake
so
London.
he goes out and gets one as a head coach.
Might as well go
against
lead.
Ted McMillan, who is very long and rangy. kind of remind me a little bit of Drake London in some instances. Watch him go up and get the ball. That length, he plays above the rim. Think about Bryce down there in the red zone. Just throw it up with tremendous touch, which he can do. He can go get it. How about the special one-handed catch here against Colorado? The body control, balls underthrown, no problem. For a bigger receiver, he can really adjust down the field and play like a smaller guy. He's slippery with the ball in his hands after the catch. My thing, he's got to play with a little more consistent urgency. There's times where you'll see him ease on the backside of routes. That's something that's coachable. You got to get that out of him. But the raw ability, his basketball or his volleyball background, it shows up on the football field.
Huge production. I mean, huge production. He had 174 catches, 2,700 yards, and everybody in the building knew he was getting the ball. I mean, that's just the flat-out facts of it. And this is not an excuse, DJ, but I would just say there are some colleges and college offenses that will teach in their coaching room, in their individual rooms, the backside receiver, hey, take this play off. You know, and so I don't like it either when I see it on film. But I'm telling you, these guys, some of them are coached to do that in these offenses.
Now when I have to play Madden by myself, I'm going to definitely make sure to have Ted McMillan with the Panthers and Ashton Genty with the Raiders.
Last year is Xavier Legette. They need him to come along and play better. McMillan, another big, wide-ranging target for the shorter quarterback, Bryce Young. A little more forgiving as they throw it downfield.
So Bryce Young now has a Tet to go with his Legette. Kurt Warner, take it away.
I'll tell you what I love about this, guys, is I believe he could be a true X receiver. And what we mean by that is that solo guy on the backside. Nothing makes football easier for a young quarterback than to look out there and go, oh, I got
if the Saints don't
I got
draft
my guy over there. I don't have to overthink
Shedeur
this.
Sanders.
I can go back and play pitch and catch. So I like this.
I believe the Falcons will take Shedeur Sanders.
Thank you very much for those 2 cents, Kurt. Now let's
they have
welcome
Michael Penix.
Tet to Prime Time, presented by Nationwide. Jamie?
If the Saints don't take him, I don't know who will.
Tetaroa, we know who you are on the football field, but you are letting everybody know who you are with an homage
Saints don't
to your
take him.
heritage
He's going all
today.
the way
Why
to
was this
21 to
important
the
to you?
Steelers.
Oh, man. You know, everything I do is not only
No,
to glorify
he's-
him, the man above, but
Ashton Genty,
to put on for
81.
my Polynesian people. So,
Tet
shout out to all my
McMillan,
Polys, man. We did it.
77.
You see this Panthers fan base right here. They gotta.
You have to actually make it a little realistic because you're
They got a
glazing
big face
so
of
hard.
Bryce Young back there. What kind of magic are you guys gonna make?
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, that Cali connection is going to be something different, I promise.
Congratulations,
Oh,
Tetaroa.
you're telling me to
Thank
put
you so much.
Genty's jersey number at a 99 and Tetra
Ian Rappaport,
McMillan
take it away,
at
sir.
98
With the
jersey number.
Saints
Yep,
poised
that
to make
makes
the
sense.
number 9 overall pick, worth noting Derek Carr's future is very much in doubt for the New Orleans
They
Saints.
selected-
Dealing with his
I
shoulder
don't
injury,
know
still
what
has
they'll
not
do if
yet
they
made
don't
a decision.
pick
To consulting
Shedeur
with several
Sanders.
experts whether or not he's going to have surgery. They do not know if he's going to be ready or if he's going to play at all in the 2025 season.
Oh,
That brings us
overall,
around to the
yeah, then
quarterbacks. They
if
did
you're
all the
glazing
homework on
so
the
much, I
quarterbacks.
guess I'll put them
Be
both at 0.
Surprised if Shedeur Sanders was the pick here, but several other quarterbacks they like in this round.
Well, there's Shedeur at the crib, as Prime would call it, in Texas. Why, Ian, would you say you'd be surprised if it's Shedeur Sanders with this pick here?
Rich, just based on my conversations, either it's the longest con of all time or the Saints liked Tyler Shook and Jackson Dart just a little higher just based on the overall package than Shedeur Sanders.
Thank you very much, Ian. Your sense on this?
Well, I talk to a lot of folks around this quarterback situation. I try and see who's doing the most work. Now, it's one thing with a Travis Hunter to maybe try and play coy and lay back and just meet with him at the combine. If you're going to take a quarterback and put your job in his hands,
care.
please do a full-scale workup on them.
He
And it
missed
just
7
didn't seem
games.
to
There's
me
no
like the Saints were doing that.
He missed
on
7
these guys
games.
to take
He
one
can throw
this
career
early
low
in the
50
draft. So I thought they were more of a
touchdowns.
day 2, second round.
Ben
at that
DiNucci,
point in time,
Jake
you take your
Hanner,
shot.
Spencer Rattler.
But just talking to people all around this kind of ecosystem of
they
quarterbacks is what I'm getting at. That was not the vibe they were getting.
Last time I heard someone ignore a quarterback so publicly, where the quarterback was shocked that he was taken by the team, Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
When Mike Shanahan ordered
Chris
his people to
Olave
stay away,
led the
he
Saints
did all the work up on
with
his own,
400
and then they took him
receiving
as a
yards.
surprise to everyone, including
That's
Cutler.
embarrassing.
Bears are 4 and change into their allotted time for the 10th overall pick. Here's
Even
the
when
commissioner
the
with the Saints
Titans
choice.
were bad, they did good enough to have a 1,000 yard receiver. They don't select Shedeur Sanders, and they're probably going to go 3-13.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr. Tackle.
Where's Shador going?
So they go offensive line. DJ, your thoughts?
Where is Shador Sanders going?
Quick because there's not a lot of them that you can count
if
on
he's
to come
not
and start
going
and play
to
right away.
Indianapolis,
Where
is he going?
Fuaga to handle one tackle spot. Now they get the other one taken care
I'm
of.
actually curious.
Like, just winning the Super Bowl with a team that's all
maybe
about
the Raiders will trade up to get him.
So not a surprise at all to see them go with tackle. We'll see which quarterback
they have a high pick
down the road
in the
here
second
and see what
round.
that looks like. But investing in the trenches, not surprised to see that's the direction.
He's not going to Pittsburgh. That's where Jackson Dart goes.
Not guard, because there's talk about him kicking inside the guard. DJ, take it away from here.
Yeah, very balanced in pass protection. Really,
it
just
makes
the
sense
Georgia
for him to
games
go
were
to
the ones where he
Indianapolis,
struggled.
but I
The
don't think they're
rest of
giving up
the tape
on
is pretty
Anthony
consistent. He's a
Richardson
fluid mover. Here he is in that Georgia game, showing you some of those redirection skills that he possesses. He's big. He's got those broad shoulders in the run game. He can get that initial movement. Want to see him stay connected and stay attached a little bit more. But the athleticism getting up to the second level takes those good angles to get up to those linebackers. Here's the pop of some of that physicality that he's got inside. I want to see more of that continue to develop in his game, guys.
They're playing
Apatapata. The run was early. That was expected.
I hate this.
And that was chalk.
Fuaga last year. Now he goes in. He'll probably play right tackle instead of Trevor Penning.
It wasn't his cocky attitude.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are pressure.
It's what people were realizing while he was at his own combine for the.
Listen, Kelvin Banks Jr. He's a guy. Sark raves about
for Colorado, where he was patting the ball.
The head coach at Texas,
when
about
he was
Kelvin
throwing.
Banks, he would say if everybody on our team took care of their business like Kelvin
but I guess
did,
that
we would
doesn't
be good
really
to
count.
go. So he's a great
I
locker room guy.
You might be
and
right.
now the weight is on for Shador, who we just saw on our screens. You know,
that's the third quarterback spot.
Yes,
seen punt on quarterback.
This is
all right. The Bears. I don't even know.
That's what appears to be 21 for everything we're talking about with New Orleans and everything. That's a bit. The story of this pick is where does Shador go to? Where does he fall?
See, they're
to?
thinking the same thing as me.
Pick is in, and they do have every tight end available for them to choose. We'll find out who that pick is. The Niners are on the clock right now. About 90 seconds in. Hey, there's our colleague Colleen Wolfe, along with Laura Rutledge with an announcement.
Because, boy, do we have an announcement for you. Live from the heart of the NFL Draft right here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's right, Colleen. The schedule release marks a pivotal moment in the NFL calendar. It sets the stage for a thrilling season. Yeah, this is when we get to geek out over every single game and bye week, the primetime revenge and rematches, those late season divisional dates that end up deciding playoff spots. And who's playing at Lambeau in December? Ooh, we're going to have to find out. You'll find out soon, okay? How about these rookies, the players who are drafted here tonight? When and where do they make their NFL debuts? We're going to find that out as well. Let's not forget the expanding lineup of international games as well as Christmas, Thanksgiving Day. There's so many captivating matchups. It's the best. Yes, because nothing says holiday cheer like watching your team destroy another. So, without further ado, everybody, get it together, mark your calendars, set your alarms. The schedule will be dropped on May 14th. There we go. Lock it in. We can't wait. You can tweet it out, tell everybody, and don't miss it. Be sure to check out all the great content from the NFL team sites, the club's social channels around the schedule release. Tune into NFL Network as well as ESPN2. So much full coverage
May
of the
14th.
thrilling 2025 matchups. May 14th is just around the corner, too. I know. It's basically here at this point. Guys, get ready and buckle up for the greatest season of your lives.
That is quite the hype. I know what I'm doing on May 14th.
I guess the Bears took at number 10 the 2025 schedule release.
That's what happens.
I mean, that's a smart pick. He's going to start for the rest of the season, but he's probably going to retire after that.
In the home of the Packers. So, we find out
they're going to be a good pick. That's a good pick.
You know, do they trade up for Genti?
Why are they?
They might have attempted, didn't work out. If they did,
With the 10th pick in the NFL draft, the Chicago Bears select 2025 NFL schedule. NFL schedule, May 14th.
But you said tight end in your mock draft.
Genty's gone, and the tackles are.
Yeah, but you mentioned tight end in your mock draft.
This will be fun where the Bears
this makes perfect sense.
They don't.
Ben Johnson.
Green Bay.
Yesterday, the NFL family lost a true legend, Bears Hall of Famer Steve McMichael. My heart is with the McMichael family during this incredibly difficult time. Misty, please know that you are in our thoughts and prayers. Mongo's remarkable contributions to the game and the community will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. 50 years ago, with the 4th pick in the 1975 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears selected one of Steve McMichael's teammates and closest friends, Walter Payton, running back, Jackson State.
Oh!
Walter would go on to rush for nearly 17,000 yards and 110 touchdowns over 13 seasons, all with the Chicago Bears. As you heard earlier, the NFL continues to honor Sweetness, not only for his performance and excellence on the field, but also his commitment to give back to his community with the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award. So with the 10th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan.
Wow, so it's Colston Loveland, not Tyler Warren. That's a bit of a surprise.
I had them right next to each other on my list, so they're both excellent players, different styles. He's a smooth mover, kind of remind me a little bit of Mark Andrews, but quite honestly, you could put Sam Laporta on that list, who Ben Johnson had coached. A real sudden mover. He creates separation down the field with his routes. You'll see these skills again. Just look at these easy windows that he creates for the quarterback by his ability to just pull away. And once he gets the ball, he can transition quickly up the field and has tremendous speed. CD, this guy is going to be able to come right in and make an impact for a team. Ben Johnson, they did a lot of 12 personnel. In Detroit, they're going to do a lot of 12 personnel. In Chicago, 2 tight ends will be on the field.
No doubt about it. Ben Johnson calling card. Time now for player comparison.
Well, that's all for today. I know it's only 10 picks, but
and
it's
I
getting
mentioned
late
in
for
our
me.
pregame show.
Anyways, bye. I'll see you guys
I love
in the next
Colston
video.
Loveland. Everything about
And
him. I comped him to Tyler Eifert.
Try and hit
Before
150
injuries,
subscribers.
Eifert 2015.
Go subscribe to
13
Dragon
touchdown
Frauds,
catches.
my
That
old.
was unstoppable
And
in
I
the
will
red
see you
zone.
guys in the
You
next
notice the
video.
ability to split
Goodbye.
out, run routes, beat people one-on-one.